This is an Orange Chair written work. First audio play. Stalling. A one-act play. The difference between Samuel and the bathroom stall is that the bathroom had its needs managed. The walls weren't cracking, no growing mold between the crevices of each tile. Everything was clean and tended to. Samuel thought of this as he sat alone on the floor of a wide-open toilet partition, looking out, watching, waiting for anyone that would enter. He couldn't see the door, however, for it was blocked by the jut in the wall for the urinal section, but he still looked in the direction, waiting. Heaving his way off the floor, Samuel collects the tear-drenched pieces of toilet paper, flushes them all down the toilet, and turns to look at his reflection in the middle mirror in front of him. He only sees misery. He sees frazzled, unkempt hair, his chafing suit, purple eye bags below his bloodshot eyes, both sunken and above his grim frown. Samuel only looks. He does not stare, glance, or even observe. He only looks. Samuel, looking still, grips the edges of the sink in front of the mirror. You're useless. You can't make good choices. Ever. Why can't you ever make good choices for yourself? Everything you think is just a made-up argument that never happens. You imagine yourself getting in all sorts of made-up trauma, just so others have to listen to you and be nice to you. They always had to listen, didn't they? You pathetic weasel. Look where it got you. From his pocket, he pulls out two photos, with the first being a worn picture of a younger, sprite Samuel kissing a fine woman in a wedding dress, of which the two were in front of a warm, smiling priest. That is the old photo. The new photo is similar, except when Samuel pulled this photo out of his pocket, the same woman was kissing a taller, broader, bearded man, in front of the same priest, except that his warm smile was absent. He looked at the woman in the new image. Samuel began to rip the photos with rabid rage, jammed the pieces down the drain, and cranked open the tap to let the memories dissolve away. The tap kept on running and flowing out. Samuel looked at the tap as he kept panting with rage, then back at himself. Misery is still the only thing he sees. He takes a deep breath in, and then slowly back out. He closes his eyes and opens them to see his face, and immediately pulls off a ring and dumps it in the bin beside him, whilst the tap kept on running and flowing out. Samuel looks confused as he looks up at his bare wrist, as if a watch were there. He rummages into his pocket, which are bare as well. He looks up to his reflection, eyes now widened. My bag. As if for his dear life, and with his chest hunched over, Samuel whimpers his way out of the bathroom stall, with the door screeching closed behind him. Everything was empty inside the bathroom stall. Scene 2. Attention all passengers. This is just a reminder that the patrolling staff members here are always happy to answer any questions or concerns. So please don't be shy if you have any queries. Enjoy your flight. The control tower of Perth Airport can be seen through the interior of the terminal, where the seismic windows let through the midday light of spring. People are holding signs with names largely printed upon them, and others wait on benches, either snoring to themselves or keeping to themselves. Taxis pick up and drop off plenty at a constant rate, causing the igniting of rusted engines, roaring rev starts, and sudden takeoffs to allow others to park where they once were. In the foyer, too many people rush side by side one another, two of which are security guards patrolling the area. The name Owen is printed on a golden tag upon the tall, grey-haired guard, and the name Pete printed simply on the short, blonde guard. And so they rejected my application. Yeah, she just looked at my CV and asked me a couple of questions, then told me she'd consider me. She could still be deciding for all you know. But this was a whole month ago. A month ago? Yeah, a whole month and nothing. They stop beside a row of chairs, with the passengers keeping to themselves. One passenger is arguing on the phone, another eagerly turning the pages of a book. A young couple chatting beside their bags, another bag, and a woman cradling a sleeping baby. Have you applied to other clinics? Yeah. Same result. As in nothing? Yeah. Well, were you confident with your questions? I answered them the best I could. I don't sound confident. It did happen a month ago, so I don't really remember the questions. So you did other interviews, didn't you? Yeah. Did you approach each of them differently? Yeah, I did. Well, okay. One time I did just look at my notes an hour before, but every other time I practiced tons of questions, like days before. Did you? Yeah, I did. It didn't really help, though. It didn't help at all. Well, with each interview, right, I just had this, feeling. A tense feeling in my stomach. I don't think I have anxiety, though. I definitely felt the symptoms. Before each interview, that is. It just felt like my whole body wanted to explode, like a bomb. So I didn't really know how to deal with it. Right. Yeah. Okay. So, did you remember their faces at all? What does that have to do with it? Do you remember their faces? Not really. Did you give them any eye contact? Oh no, I did make eye contact a couple of times. But did you do it consistently for each interview? No. I don't get it. You didn't act this way when I interviewed you. Well, there was also the fact that I wanted this job. That I really wanted it. So you don't want the internship at the psychology thing? No, I do. Then what's the issue then? I need you to be there. Need? Yeah, as a reference. So I can have someone support what I have to say. Pete, do you want me to sugarcoat it, or give it to you straight? Straight. I don't see why I should. Why? Because I wouldn't have anything honest to say. You shouldn't rely on anyone else when in stressful situations, if you're the one responsible for it.
You have to find the confidence in yourself, Pete. Which I know is possible. What's wrong with asking for help? Well, okay, there isn't. But you can't do it all the time if you want others to respect you. I want you to be a respectable person. And then I could easily say honest things about you. That's not what I'm saying. I have a better chance of getting the job if I have someone to back up what I say. But what you really want is confidence. That's what the interviewer wants to see. They want to trust you and take your words seriously. Which can't be done if you glue your eyes at your notes for the whole thing. Okay, and if I can do that, then I'll be your reference. Fair enough. Great. Now, what's the time? Ah, crap. It's 15 to 1. I need to leave. You're leaving? I am. My wife and I are heading down south to see the family for the long weekend. We need to leave early so we can make it for dinner. In-law's birthday, right? Sure is. Oh, nice. Yeah, my birthday last month, we had this Pete, I need to leave. Excuse me? Yes? Do you hear it?
The sound grows louder. A ticking sound. The mother points to the bag, not beside the couple, but another bag beside her.
Pete. Yeah? Don't do anything.
Owen and Pete look at the singular bag, sitting by itself, several seats away from the mother. All the passengers notice the guards looking at the bag and stop everything they were doing. All eyes are on the bag.
Listen, please. I don't want anyone to do anything.
Everyone is looking at the bag, the ticking growing louder.
No one do a thing.
Owen creeps towards the bag. He unzips it and looks in.
Fuck me. What? A phone. It's only a phone, everyone.
Everyone releases a heavy sigh of relief as Owen pulls out a phone, ringing with the name Diane on the cracked screen.
Hey, it's okay. It's alright.
Owen ends the call,
It's okay.
showing the 14 missed calls from Diane.
Pete, how long do ringtones go on for? I don't really know. Guess. 10 seconds? Are you sure? I guess. This went on for longer. Are you sure ringtones go for 10 seconds? I don't know. You don't? Owen, doesn't mean that I'm a millennial. That doesn't mean I have to know everything about technology. Someone probably left the bag and forgot to take it with them. They probably set the phone volume too high by accident. This is an airport, Pete. It's very specific.
Owen drops the phone in and zips up the bag. He picks it up and holds it to Pete.
Take it. What? Take the bag. Why?
Owen looks around him first before he whispers to Pete.
This was a bomb threat. I'm going to the administrator to tell them about this quickly. But it wasn't a bomb. Don't argue. Just take it.
Pete takes the bag.
Pete, we know that it's not a bomb. But what we don't know is why it's here. The ringtone sounded like a countdown, the volume was loud, and the phone was in a bag with no one nearby. Someone may have accidentally set it too loud. Pete, just take the bag to the lost property area. We'll investigate this there. Oh, and you're being unfair to me, right? If you want me to be your fucking reference, then listen to what you're fucking told. Do it, and I'll meet you there. Alright. Great.
He begins to walk off as he looks at his watch.
Fuck, she's gonna kill me.
Owen exits off down the hall. All the passengers in the nearby area stare at Pete.
Everyone? Everything's fine now?
Everyone still looks at Pete, including Samuel, that has now whimpered his way into the foyer of the terminal. When Samuel sees Pete, a security officer, the first thing he noticed was the bag firmly clenched in his hand. And when he saw that, everything around him almost froze in time and came to a halt. Pete began to turn around, and which everything caught back up to speed when Samuel swirled around and retreated to the hallway he came in from, with his hands straight into his pockets and his stiff legs pacing him well away. Pete looks at the back of the man, walking away towards the bathroom hallway. Looks back down to the bag, firmly grasped in both hands now. He unzips the bag as he rummages through it. He finds a passport, worn with a creased lengthways along the front. He opens the passport and reads,
Samuel Caffer.
Pete turns to look at the mother, who is now staring at him, along with the other passengers.
Excuse me? Yes? Was this man sitting next to the bag? Yes, that's him! Okay.
By this point, as Pete looks up, everyone has now gone back to acting as they were before. The great wave of people, all rushing side by side one another. Pete looked at them all, and back to the entrance to the bathroom hallway, where the forced one-point perspective of the hallway made its end too dull, too dark to see clearly. No different to a cave entrance, where anyone, or anything, could lurk within its depths.
Pete, I see a suspicious guy walking down the bathroom aisle. He might be the guy that left the bag. I'll go investigate. Over.
With the mic cutting off, Pete drops the worn passport back into the bag, zips it shut, and then strides forth into the aisle, towards the bathroom stall.
Scene 3. The tap is still running as Samuel himself ran into the bathroom stall, leaping into one of the partitions and firmly locking it shut. Pete, where the hell are you going? I told you where. The bathroom stalls?
Pete enters the bathroom stall.
One of them? Jesus Christ. How do you know he's there? I followed him. Didn't I tell you that? Well, didn't I tell you to go to the lost property area? Now? But you also told me that if I want others to respect me, then I can't rely on others. So I'm going to do that now.
Pete cuts off Owen by unplugging the cord for a shoulder mic. After a moment, Pete looks over at the tap and lets out an annoyed sigh as he goes to shut it off. Pete can see his reflection, and behind him are the 2 urinals to the far right of the room, the 3 taps, and the 3 toilet partitions with one locked, where Samuel can be heard crying behind. Hi, Samuel. Are you alright? Fuck off. I have your bag, Samuel. If you talk, I'll give it back to you. No tricks. The crying begins to fade down. And after a moment, Samuel unlocks and opens the partition door, and simply looks at Pete with bloodshot eyes. Your face is on the passport.
The bag here. Your face matches the one on the passport. I know that. Well, okay. But he doesn't know. Pete points to his handheld radio. They don't know what you look like. Well, not yet. Look, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm thinking that too, but
Samuel eyes the
to
door.
me this seems to be a... Hey, don't think about it. If you run out there, you'll just get caught. I didn't do anything. You looked. Samuel, if you want to leave, then you're making this whole thing very hard to believe. You understand that no one leaves a bag by itself in an airport, right? Samuel falls back onto the ground, planting his back against the wall. I need my meds, please. Please, I need my meds, please. I will answer, just, can I take them, please? Yeah. I'm sorry. I just forgot earlier. I just forgot. I should have taken them. That's alright. Samuel cranks his legs up and sets the pill bottle on the closest sink near him, with tears dripping across the floor as he goes to his bag, unzips it, and pulls out a pack of meds. He easily unwinds the lid and plucks out 2 pills from the container, both of which are divided with 2 colors, blue and orange. The 2 are shoved to the back of his throat, swallowing them down with tap water in the sink in front of him, in which he awkwardly bends down to reach his lips to the tap. Pete looks at the pill container, with familiarity across his face. Benzodiazepines. Samuel closes the tap. The pills? Yeah. Antidepressants. It is. They're my anti-anxiety stuff. You know these? Yeah. You studied psychology? I did learn about it in uni, yes. Do you practice it? Samuel, the bag. Please, man, I just want to talk about something with anyone. Please. I'm not licensed to do therapy. Please. I promise it has to do with the bag. Talk then. Yeah, so, you see... Are you okay? Samuel drops back down to sit against the wall. That's obvious. Can you talk is what I mean. Yes. Then talk. I will. But you're not Sam. Shut up! Samuel begins to pant at a faster rate, deeper than before. Okay. Breathe, Sam. Samuel's untamed breaths fluctuate violently as he attempts to tame his breaths by breathing in and back out again. Sorry, that was rude. Samuel breathes in and out once more. Diane. Man, what a twist. Us 2 signing the paper and the judge slamming the hammer. What a bloody twist. The 2 years was just too long for her. I spent them with work, mostly. She would just spend them doing the same, but knowing I would go completely off my shits when I got home. There was nothing abusive. Just... fuck the stress of it all. It's the kind that makes you want to crack open a beer and light open a cigarette or 2. Never did either. Though I was tempted. Really. My job, right? I was expected and only expected to do what was apparently so simple that even I could do it. Apparently I would have been shit-hot good at being a sales associate. talking to lots of people and selling them shit. It all had to be convincing. That meant, you have to give a warm smile, appear friendly, be nice and patient with people. Typical lying. Being honest to my careers counselor would have been good. She just said, "Oh, you'd be great as a sales associate. I'll call you up with someone I know." I didn't want to be rude and tell her I didn't want it. I just said, "Yep, sounds good," and went on and got the job. I just faked the interview, faked each day of work, and for a bit, faked in front of Diane. Even with all my shit that I need to sort, I didn't want to fake anything to her. Not a thing. Every time I crashed back home, I just spilled. It was just things I'll think way too much about. Like if I look unfriendly and unapproachable, do I really know what I'm selling? And worse, if I messed up at least once with something, I'd imagine they would just talk shit about me after I barely met them. It all felt too possible. All of it is shit like that. Then I'll just vomit up these dark thoughts of me getting cancer, and her getting cancer, and all my family getting cancer. Imagine the funerals of people I already knew. It all never happened to me, but again, it all just felt too possible. So, that's when I tried therapy. It didn't work. It just got me addicted to these. He points to the pill bottle. Those things here were really got me to talk about these things. But she responded with a typical, "Oh, you need to control your mind," and "Oh, toughen up," and "Oh, stop complaining about it," and "You're making it all up." Those statements just prove she just wanted to stop me, not actually help me. So I pointed that out, and we always just argued about it. But I think you can agree that's a pretty good reason for her to move on and forget me. Marry someone else. A real man this time. This man easily towered me. Last night I just wanted to get some of my things from the house. With her just looking at me, that just dinged a whole nother fight with me and about my attitude, about my tone, everything I've said, and validating how I feel again. Even when I defended myself, the brute felt that he had the right to thrash me and chuck my phone. That's probably why the phone's all fucked up. Damien's just a big fucking brute. Of course Diane would leave for him. Because as I barely stood up to look at the two, for the first time since the divorce, she looked at me not with pity, but with contempt. I just got the bag and left to walk out on my own. I'd rather just leave it all anyway. To them, I don't give a shit about anything. And now I'm beginning to agree. So, Pete looks over at the toilets. Then back at Samuel. Do you agree? I see why they do. Do you know what I think? What? I think you do give a shit about others. You know why? Why? Well, this might sound stupid, but let me put it this way. People aren't toilet bowls. We're the shitters. You don't take shit from anyone. You're the one that gives a shit. What? You gave a shit because you wanted to be honest and open about how you felt to your wife. You asked for help, and she didn't give it. You gave a shit, and she didn't give any in return. That makes perfect sense that you walked away. Completely understandable. A gross way of putting it, but... yeah. It's a shit metaphor. Yeah. It is, yeah. But does it make sense? Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Okay, so from what I can tell, however, she sounds very overwhelmed. I mean, I would be too. Now, not to push you down, of course, but with arguments about those kinds of things, it's understandable that she wanted to divorce you. Right. Sorry, I'm trying my best to help. But you're trying. So it's fine. Now, that phone. Oh. Did you hear the man over my radio? Yes. That's my boss. He thinks you planted a bomb. A what? I know it wasn't, so we're going to do something. He thinks I planted a bomb? Samuel, please. Someone else thought that too? Except me, Samuel. Samuel. Look in the room. What do you see? What do you see? What? Tell me what you see. You, the walls, soul crevices, the urinals, the tiles. Okay, good. Good, Samuel. In order for you to get out of this, you have to talk to him and explain. What? No, you know him better than me. You're not a terrorist, Samuel. You can prove that, not me. But you talk to me. What can I prove with words? I'm sorry, I can't do it for you. I'm panicking, man. What's the time? What's the time? Samuel rushes to unzip the bag and check his phone. Shit, I fly at 1. It's 3 minutes away. You'll get there in time, don't worry. In 3 minutes? Please, can you talk to him? Okay, I'll talk to him. Through this. I'll tell him to meet you at the terminal you're departing at. Which is... Sydney. Pate! Please, Sam, do it for yourself. Okay, then. Thank you, Pete. Hurry, Sam! Without turning back, Samuel, now with his chest raised, flies out and away from the bathroom stall. Are you there, Pete? Are you there? Do you read me? Pete? Yeah? How dare you cut me off? I found him. What? I found Samuel. Who? The name on the passport, which was also in the bag. He's with you now? He was with me. Oh, for God's sake. Why are you stalling me from finding him then? Where is he? Owen? Listen. Listen. You're not going to arrest Samuel. We, both of us, made the day far worse for Sam. He did not intentionally place a bomb threat as you said he did. I just talked to him about it. Well, he should be saying that himself. He will. That's why I'm telling you to go listen to what he has to say when he arrives at the Sydney plane for 1 p.m. Oh, do you really know what happened to his phone? His ex-wife's new husband bloody throttled him and chucked everything in his bag. I'm surprised the phone works at all. Pete, how do you know he isn't lying and that you're just going on a whim? And you're not? Where is he? As I said, he's going to the terminal for Sydney. You're going to talk to him and tell him it's all a misunderstanding. I'll just leave for the birthday. What? I'm not talking to him. I'm already late as it is. You're putting a holiday before your professional reputation. Pete, I'll see you next week. Over and out. Pete let go of the mic on his shoulder, and then looked at himself in the mirror in front of him. He takes a short breath in, and a longer fluctuating breath of anger out. I need to get a license. Pete leaves the bathroom stall, with the door finally hinging silently behind him. A plane can be heard overhead, with the wheels lifting off and the engines propelling the flight of the plane well away from Perth. The eager passengers all looked back to the home of Perth and her landscape. The others chose not to look back at all, and Samuel was one of them.